The legacy drive-by dinosaur going extinct media is on the ropes. But how badly is it? Well, it turns out that YouTubers like NERDROTIC are actually outperforming Fox News in primetime. We'll explain and show you the data. You might not believe it, but it's on its way right now. It's a great day. It's a groovy day. Thank you, folks, for coming our way. Welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to bring the news that the drive-bys don't even have the time to share, even if they were going back to investigation, and we promise they're not. As we dive in today, click that like button, and we've got something that's shocking, to say the least, and just might even have the journos shaking in their little, no longer reporter booties. Folks, give us the booty. Click that like button. It's a reference to treasure pirates. Never mind, just click the like button. And here we go. The legacy media is in a free fall, but that's not all. Many of the journalists and, well, even the commentators out there who came from the legacy media are in a collapse. Out of Yahoo Entertainment, this is from the Globe. Cable news ratings reveal a major shakeup at Fox News, CNN, and MS Now. Now, folks, for this story, it's very important that you remember the numbers. And we're going to be keen on helping you remember these things. And as we do this, I want you also to remember that there are articles being written about this, but not the other thing we're going to talk about, which has far bigger ratings. All right? Hang tight. I'll tell you what this is. It says new cable news ratings are out for the week of May 11th, and the numbers are turning heads. According to Adweek, which cited Nielsen data, the numbers tell a story of major change across the board. Fox News topped primetime with 2.2 million total viewers and 200,000 in the adults 25 to 54 demographic. That was down 8% in total viewers, 9% in the demo from the previous week. It was down versus the prior year as well. But what I need you all to look at is this. This number is the one that matters. I know the 2 million really does matter. I hear you. And if you're not in the demo and you're saying, well, Pro, I matter too. Yes, you do. But in terms of advertising dollars, in terms of money that's being made, the demo makes all the cash. It makes all the dinero. 200,000 on average tuning in to Fox News. Okay, everybody hang with that number. That's a really important number. On MS Now, formerly MSNBC, 87,000 in the demo. Again, that's the 25 to 55. That's who buys the stuff. That's who the advertisers are paying to be sent to. 87,000 in the demo. On CNN, it barely broke 100,000, but it beat MS Now, so congratulations. 100,000 in the demo. And you all are going to say, well, Pro, who cares how many people are watching cable news? Well, I need to show you something. I need you to understand how dead cable news is becoming. I need you to understand where culture has gone. Not culture on the panel, we see him, but where the culture at large has gone. If I go to Friday Night Tights, a show that happens on NERDROTIC, Wiz, you're on this show. You're a regular now. NERDROTIC, that's you. Look at you. Look at you over there.
This week.
This is, hey, there's Odom. We just hung out with him a little bit. Everybody here on the panel would love him. Lots of support. But I need to show you this, folks. 215,000 views. Streamed 12 days ago. 215,000 views. The one from this past week is at like 205,000. Okay, and it'll grow. It'll get there. 215,000. Now, remember I told you these numbers really matter, right? Let me go back again. Why? Fox News. Fox News, the big kahuna in cable news, Fox News. 202,000. Adults 25 to 54. I'm going to bet you, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody basically in that 215 is in the demo. Wiz, what do you bet? What do you bet? Just about everybody in that 215 is in the demo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the people aren't watching the news anymore, but they're not watching the conventional mainstream media. They're finding people that they trust that report as honestly as they can and produce content. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a majority.
Wiz, here's the deal. Did you realize that when you go on F&T, that you are speaking into a program that defeats Fox News on average in primetime?
Did I realize it? No. Am I surprised? I think that's the real question. Am I surprised? And the answer is also no.
Are there articles being written about your ratings on FNT Wiz? Is that happening? I haven't seen those yet. I don't think the drive-bys haven't figured out how defeated they are, Wiz.
They're never framed that way. They're never framed as, hey, FNT and shows like it are absolutely obliterating the mainstream media. Instead, they're usually framed as Gary NERDROTIC is a toxic, hating individual. And it's like, well, that's all lies, number one. Like, it's all wrong. But you're avoiding the elephant in the room, which is the streamers, YouTubers even, are destroying the mainstream access media. And they can't allow you to know that. They can't allow for people to even address that honestly or come to an honest conversation about that, because then that would put their own jobs in jeopardy. And if I was them, bro, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing just how thin the line is between having a job and not having a company anymore.
Now, people thought when we started this, I'm sure they thought this was going to be an anti-MSNL, anti-CNN, pro-Fox News. And we've kind of flipped that on its head right now. What I'm telling you is, you're break even with Fox News. You're destroying CNN. You've got double the ratings of CNN in primetime, and you've got like triple for MS Now. I mean, this is, you guys are just doing a phenomenal job. But I do want to point out something too as well. And I'm not trying to throw shade, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to see what's happening. And I want to call balls and strikes, and I want to be fair to everybody. So yes, MS Now and CNN in the gutter right now for what we're covering. But there's something happening at the same time that channels like Real Life Fake Wizard and NERDROTIC continue to just dominate, and Critical Drinker 2 and Geeks and Gamers and so many of our friends out there, Culture Casino, Valiant Renegade, et cetera, et cetera. We had Flash on the other day. Look at what's happening to Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly, she calls herself Megan. We'll do that too. Megyn Kelly was getting 20 million views per week, 15, 16, 17, 27, all throughout 2025. Megyn Kelly in 2026 has seen her numbers fall precipitously. And guess what? People would get mad at me if I didn't point this out. I'm not trying to be mean to Ben Shapiro whatsoever. I'm not. I promise I'm not. But if you go back to 2025, he was pulling 9 million per week, 6 million, 7 million, 9 million, 8 million. And you go now, and he's down, like 40%, something like that, this year versus last year. Something is happening. And it's not just the legacy media. It's not just cable, and it's not just left to right. That's too easy. There's something happening where people are beginning to trust far more the new media and people who came out of the new media. So the All In podcast, Moonshots. I mean, we can keep going, right? We can keep going with all of these new media podcasts and platforms. Joe Rogan is dominating. And I think that we are now seeing something else entirely beyond what we talked about in the past. Culture, we're seeing a whole new generation embracing a new generation of stars that never touched legacy media. And maybe they don't want to now. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think you kind of nailed something down here that I think that even modern TV executives are having to come to grips with. Let me stack on top of your premise the idea that two YouTubers are destroying Hollywood as we speak with two films that just beat out Star Wars. Both of them, out there in the world. On a shoestring budget, each of them, costing considerably less than what, Hollywood dumps into things. And both of them horror-based properties, which skews into the demo. In fact, that's almost purely demo when you look at what the audience is for a horror film. So, yeah, the new media is more considered more authentic, more trustworthy, more likely to base their opinion in facts and stack facts upon things. When I watch Wiz or Marv or any of the other people in my niche, first of all, when they're together, it's funny. It's a great show. But at the same time, they're stacking facts on it. They pull facts and figures in. And they're not just selling a narrative. They're telling the truth, or the truth as they see it, supported by numbers and facts and figures. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think that whether or not you're a comedy show or not, you could still, present things with an air of authenticity. And that's why watching, let's say, Friday Night Tights specifically, since that's the show you brought into the conversation,
we could do others, right? I could bring in Critical Drinker.
Yeah, indeed.
Right. So, we're not trying to be a slouch here. Fake Wiz not trying to be a slouch. Everybody on this panel is participating in things that I think really, truly matter and have people that are tuning in because it matters. But, Friday Night Tights was just the one that I thought, this is so fun because Friday Night Tights, it is a show that the legacy media probably hates, genuinely hates. But they probably don't even realize that it's pulling Fox News numbers.
Yeah. And that's got to have them worried. I mean, relevance, again, we mentioned it before earlier in the show. Relevance is important, and reach is important. And you only get reach with relevance. And who's more relevant right now than people coming out of our space? Because they're the ones that are really introducing fresh approaches, amazing marketing, kind of, the thumbnail game that somebody like Wizard has or other people. I mean, it changes things. It changes how people look at stuff. They look for more creative, high contrast thumbnails now. They look at the conversation that's being had, and the titling that I think a lot of people are brevity. Is key now, and that's, again, it's one of the reasons why I've been reevaluating how I do content. It's because I'm watching other people evolve, and I'm going, okay, that's really cool. Let me try to do that.
Sure.
And the media doesn't do that, Pro. They stay with a formula, whether or not it's successful or it's failing.
I knew, Culture, you were navigating your way to a great point, and that is a great point indeed. The legacy media is stodgy. They're stuck. They've got institutional money, they've got institutional power, and they've got legacy credentiality. And because of that, they're not adjusting, whereas the new media is. Lauren, let's play devil's advocate for just a minute. So there are going to be people who watch this, and they're going to say,
media sucks. How's that?
So there are going to be people, Lauren, who say to us that you guys are you're being silly. 2 million views on Fox News. Who cares about the demo? I care about the demo because the demo, that's the people who pay for the ads. That's the people that they're trying to reach out to nonstop. And all those other numbers get kind of fuzzy to me, right? Because I think, okay, well, yeah, you're doing great with the assisted living crowd. You're doing great with airports. You're doing great in doctors' offices and at the bar, which Nielsen now counts.
In prisons. Don't forget the prisons. Captive audience.
Big with CNN. Lauren, I get. Lauren, is that valid or is it okay for us to say demo versus demo, FNT is beating Fox News?
Well, I think it's fair to say that they're beating it, but I think you're right that you do need to be paying attention to the demo because that's where the advertising dollars go. But I think there's another point that you're kind of making. I think Culture kind of made it. I want to phrase it maybe slightly differently. I think part of the reason that people are going to the new media is that. Have you ever seen one of those YouTube videos where they take the nightly broadcasts for all of the news programs in all of these different geographical locations and they're all reading from the same script? And it suddenly becomes apparent that you have these giant mega corporations that are writing the exact script that their TV personality is supposed to read. That is scary when you realize that that's happening, but it's also really, really boring. And when you can predict what the talking heads are going to say, eventually you tune it out because you don't need to watch it. You already know what the line is going to be. And I would say that's something that the new media can also be susceptible to. And I think that this is something that Megan and Ben and Tucker and those people have fallen victim to, is that while they may not have a corporate paymaster that is telling them what to say, or they may, they certainly have some things that they have in common that are causing them to read from a script that has turned their demographic off, which is why their numbers are dropping. And even outside the political, I think that everybody in this space, in the new media space, has got their time where they're going to have an impact on their audience. But if you become predictable, if people think they already know what you're going to say, eventually they're going to get bored, they're going to tune out, and they're going to find somebody else to watch who's new and fresh. So that's why it's important that you have panels that mix things up, where you have different personalities with different opinions who could get in there and mix it up and be entertaining while they're doing it, so that the audience doesn't know what's going to be said, and sometimes they can be surprised and amused. That's what keeps attention.
Okay, that's what we're doing with this segment, right? Everybody thought, oh, it's just a simple Fox News, CNN, MS Now ratings report. Nope. Hey, Wiz, I'm going to give you the last word on this because I'm very curious your thoughts. Where is the new media going? How much domination happens? Is the new media, have we sort of evolved to the point now there's no more, forward progress to go? Or is this just the beginning of a long trek forward and everything is going to be dominated by new media?
Oh, it's crazy the different pathways that we could be going on here, because the sky's the limit of possibility, but I'm going to take it in one direction, because what we're seeing right now is companies like, let's say Disney, for instance, which operates inside of the media, like they own ABC. What Disney and companies like it is in the entertainment spheres have learned is that you need to capture the new media, because they don't know how to make the new media. Like the companies don't have the ability to become the content creators themselves, so they must find ways to make them owned by them. And maybe the best way to explain this is, the red carpet appearances, okay? Or bringing content creators in to meet Pedro Pascal on the Smuggler's Run ride. Like that's part of it. If we incentivize coordination from the new media, then we control the new media. But that doesn't last forever, because people, just regular viewers, are getting wise to that. We're calling it out. Others are calling it out. FNT is calling it out. Smaller channels, larger channels, people of all different sizes are calling out content creators that take the money, that become the shills, that take the gift bags, that take the goodie bags. So I don't know what the course correction is going to be, but I feel like no matter what happens next, it is up to the new media to hold the new media accountable, lest we become another version of the old media.
Well said. Folks, is cable news dead? And are the legacies and those who have been started at the legacy level, are they also on the run? Or can instead they turn things around? You tell us in the chat, in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you right now. Good night, game over, drive home safely. Folks, this video is done. But before we all head home, we only ask one thing. Folks, as you get ready to head on out, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and share your thoughts, for a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Waste not that beautiful personality of yours. And folks, we would say, as you get ready to head out the door, that it has been an honor to spend time with you, an attitude of gratitude each and every time that you elect to join together with us. Breaking bread and breaking entertainment, well, the industry. No, we like entertainment. It's the industry that irks us sometimes. Well, it was a good time. We hope you had a good time. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.